What is up, YouTube? Big Papa Jake finally back with you on It Figures, where I talk figures with a long awaited figure review. Not going to be an unboxing today, but it's been a while, so missed doing this. Been very busy with the holidays. As I'm making this, it is Thanksgiving weekend, and hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, got to spend time with their family and loved ones, and enjoy each other's company. But today, I am going to review and not unbox. I'm going to review the Mattel Creation Ultimate Jesse the Body Ventura and my long-awaited, I gotta tell ya, King Kong Bundy. So these figures, an amazing set, had to pick them up. Love them, love the packaging, love everything about them, but I'm going to go into it. Let's talk about Jesse the Body first. And first I'm going to talk about Jesse the Body. I'm going to tell you my history with him, and my fandom goes way back. This is one of the guys I saw wrestle in Janesville Craig Auditorium when I was probably 8 years old, back 1980 or so. Was a tag team. I wish I could remember who he was with. I just remember his long boa, the glasses, the whole gimmick. Basically, as he looked right here, one of the larger-than-life characters when I started watching the AWA back in the day, and they came to my high school gymnasium. And then, of course, he was the voice of Saturday Night's Main Event, which back in my day, Saturday Night's Main Event was the pay-per-view or premium live event. It was the big matches that we got on Saturday nights at 10:30. Took the place of Saturday Night Live. I would tape it. I would beg my parents to stay up and watch it if I could. And they came on episodes probably every 2 or 3 months. And I would watch the episodes over and over again on VCR. Kids, if you don't know what a VCR is, ask your parents. But yeah, so Jesse the Body was the voice with Vince McMahon of Saturday Night's Main Event. But let's get right to it. I'm going to say he was one of the most influential people in WWF back in the golden era, and went on to be governor of Minnesota, movie star, all kinds of things he's done. But I know him as Jesse the Body, the wrestler, but more as the announcer, color commentator, the heel announcer that kind of played off of Vince McMahon. So let's take a look at this bad boy. First, we'll look at the packaging. Love the ultimate packaging from these Mattel Creations. This time, I bought them as a 2-pack, but they did not come in the big box. They came separately, which I thought was really cool. So you see here, they got the ultimate. It says Jesse the Body Ventura. Up top, it has one of his favorite sayings: win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. And on the bottom, doesn't say anything. It says ultimate on this side, inside. On the back has the nice glamour shot. Him flexing. Front, flexing again. And then we open up here, and this is the meat and potatoes here. They got the LJN style, and these are based off of the old LJN figures. I had Jesse the Body's LJN figure as a kid. One of my favorites, even though I didn't know him really as a wrestler in 86, 87. He was wrestling my other figures, and it was really cool. But this is based off of how he looked as LJN. I'll take it out of there. But if you look here, kind of like the poster that came with the LJN, it has the fans and the signs. Says in there, a sign that says always cheat. And in there it says, I didn't see nothing, Gorilla. So talking about his time with Gorilla Monsoon. Inside, another sign says tell it like it is. Really cool stuff. So yeah, I love the packaging. And on the bottom it does say, I didn't see nothing, Gorilla. Pretty cool little throwbacks, but boxes are amazing. I'm going to display them out of the box right here, but I am certainly going to hold on to these, and we'll just toss that to the side here. So now let's take a look again. Coliseum collection from Mattel Creations, and it's got the whole gamut back here. Got Jesse and Bundy that we're gonna look at here. Got the Honky Tonk Man. Who else we got? Ultimate Warrior. I didn't end up getting those, and I think I kind of would like to eventually. Boss Man, Piper, George the Animal, Million Dollar Man, Ricky the Dragon's got the Heart Foundation, uh, Bam Bam Bigelow, Jake the Snake Roberts, Rick Rude, Hulk Hogan, and Terry Funk. So got a lot of stars there. Take a look there. Probably should be closer to the camera, but I needed more angle here. But let's read what it says. Well, included sunglasses, boa, hat, bandana, swappable heads, and swappable hands. And on the little card here, I know as a kid I collected them. A lot of people did collect them with their LJN figures, cut them out, had them in a little box or something. Jesse the Body Ventura. Not only has this 268-pound bruiser established himself as one of the top contenders for the WWE title, WWF title, but he also become a highly respected ringside color commentator for television broadcasts. Fans may not like his wild and wacky outfits, his pleasure was all yours attitude, or his choice of companions, but the Body is a real pro. And he was the guy, you know, he would interview the heels, he would go back in the locker room for the bad guys and talk to them. He always, you know, I was watching the Hogan Andre Saturday Night's Main Event where Andre won the title, and he was adamant, you know, Andre got the pin, Andre got the pin. So kind of neat there. But let's take a look at the figure. And again, I don't even think, you know, I could well, I can slide this open. I like how they come apart and you could unpackage them and rebox them, but I'm going to leave it as is. I don't need to look at the accessories because this thing is a beaut just the way it is. But take a look at that bad boy. Got the glare, but red boa, blue bandana, glasses, kind of the pink flowered tights. And if you remember his LJN, he had pink flowered tights. And he's even doing the same pose, kind of, you know. It was a neat figure to play with because he could do the clotheslines and things like that off the top rope. I want to find a minty Jesse the Body. I'd like to. He's one of the more common ones you can find out there and decent. Probably cheaper. I bet if you looked, he's one of the cheaper mint on card figures you could get. Really liked him. But yeah, so beautiful figure. Coliseum collection is awesome. I passed on the Piper and the George the Animal. I didn't really need those because I have enough Piper figures and George. But of course, Jesse the Body just signing his deal with Mattel and WWE. Love having him in my collection finally. Much needed, long awaited. Can't wait. There's some other. There's going to be an announcer, Jesse the Body, coming out. I think that's a ringside exclusive or something. Going to get that one. Or maybe it's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Can't remember, but definitely got to get that. He's got kind of the hat with the feather, I think, and the more announcer look with the snakeskin boots and all that. But this, definitely wrestler Jesse the Body. I had to get this one. So love, love, love it. Gonna display him just like this out with my other Coliseum collection. So let's put him right here, and then we'll get to the walking condominium, the man who required the 5 count, and I think underrated. He was the headline of WrestleMania 2 with Hogan. I honestly think that main event's underrated. I know him in a cage match, it was kind of odd, but love, love, love King Kong Bundy. Believable as the big monster heel that Hogan loved to wrestle, but here we are, King Kong Bundy. Again, Ultimate, holding up the 5 count. For those who don't know, when he went to get a pin, and a lot of times it was against the jobbers, I'll call them, or the enhancement talent, the guys you knew were going to lose. When he squashed them, beat them quickly, he would tell the ref count to 5 instead of 3. So kind of a neat thing. There you got the mean mug there. Kind of, again, larger than life. He unique look, big bald bad dude. There's his T-shirt that comes with this. It's not on it in the box, I don't think, but classic WWE symbol there. WWF back in the day. 5, calling for the 5 count. And on the back was an avalanche, which was the movie did, basically a splash. But here we go. Here's the man right here. Plain Jane, as they say, not a lot of meat on the bone. I've heard other people say. Black singlet, nothing much to it. Not even a cloth singlet. I don't believe. There you see it's the same. I'm not going to go over all the signs and stuff. I will say what I forgot to mention, and I think I mentioned it in some other reviews of the Coliseum collection. I guess these are actually Mattel employees that they took actual pictures of them and their family. Again, hard to see. Take a look there. But again, top-notch packaging. Love the boxes. Really like the single boxes now. I was kind of bummed when I saw it didn't come in the big 2-set box. And really, you know, Bundy and Jesse Ventura don't really have a connection. So I don't know why they would be a 2-pack. So it made sense that they're packaged separately. But we'll set this aside gently here and take a look at King Kong Bundy. Again, same cross-sell on the back. Got most of them. Want more of them. Again, I think that Ultimate Warrior would be neat to have. But again, he came with the Honky Tonk Man. And I've got several Honkies in my collection. I don't need another one. Included soft goods shirt. So again, it's not on there. But his shirt's in there. Swappable heads. I did see a review that some of the other heads are pretty cool. But I do like this head sculpt. Again, I didn't mention it with Jesse, but totally his. Now, my figure has some glasses askew and the stuff. I don't care. I'm still displaying it like that, not opening. But the head scans, great on both of these. Bundy looks really good. And there's one inside there I saw in another review where he's screaming. Looked really realistic. If I were to open these, I would probably put that screaming head on there. It looked really neat. But painted singlet on there, not a cloth singlet. But the shirt is, again, not going to pull it out. All the accessories are down here in their little stand, which kind of shows, it's kind of cool. You could have them standing on that. But let's see what it says about old Bundy. Bald skull glistening, eyes glaring, and lips twisted into a vicious snarl. King Kong Bundy is one of the most frightening figures in WWE, standing 6 foot 4 inches tall and weighing 458 pounds. Yeah, pushing 500 by the time he finally retired. You would think that Bundy could easily defeat his opponents without breaking any rules, but anything goes when King Kong Bundy is in combat. Now, Bundy, again, part of Heenan's stable. Brief tag team with Big John Studd. Loved that tag team. I'm like, who the hell could beat Studd and Bundy? Well, the answer was Hogan and Andre, but really cool tag team. So, but this is a figure that I really could not wait to get. And if you don't mind me reaching over here, I'm going to just do a little comparison. Certified weapon here is the LJN Bundy here. So posed just like him. Really cool. More cartoon-like here, obviously. But this thing, heavy. He used to destroy the other figures in my Fig Fed. So loved Bundy. Loved him against Hogan. Got a little dust here. But yeah, so that's a very good likeness. Again, the packaging, much like the LJNs. And now that they're re-releasing the LJNs, I just got the Hogan on Black Friday. It's kind of cool to still have these Elites, Ultimates, but in the LJN style. And hopefully they continue with these. I think they will, but as you can see the comparison there. Not going to open up Bundy, like I said, but it's great to have him in my collection. And these figures are really definitely worth the money. And hoping that they come out with some new ones. So there's, you can see the comparison to the old LJN figures. Not much playability with him, but again, the splash, running up against the ropes in the corner with the turnbuckle. Sometimes I'd have him go off the top rope, believe it or not, and it made a hellacious sound in my ring. But missed playing with these as a kid. Loved them. Probably one of my top 3 or 4 figures I played with. So glad to have these in my collection, and gonna display them. Probably put him next to the Hogan, and I don't know where I'm gonna put Jesse, but anyway, yeah, let me know what you think. Anybody else collecting the Coliseum collection? By no means am I a completion guy on this. I can't afford to be because they are ultimates. They're expensive. Sometimes they upwards around $40 a piece. 30. I think this set was 65, if I remember correct. So it puts them about 32. Puts them at about what a regular ultimate is. But um, again, I wouldn't classify Bundy as a figure who needs an ultimate. It was nice to get the different head scans and that, but he's got one outfit. Never changed his gimmick. Never changed his look. Jesse, same thing. Not a lot of meat on the bone with the wrestler. However, can't wait to get him as an announcer too. Glad they signed Jesse. Uh, he's definitely long overdue, and glad we're going to get some figures. So let me know what you think. Throw me a like and subscribe. Hopefully, I'm going to get another review here done. I've got a complete set of Monday Night Wars figures. I'm going to get cracking on one video and review those hopefully in the next couple days. But just wanted to knock these off the list and get them in my display. So let me know what you think. Other than that, hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. Good hunting. Hopefully you get all your Black Friday figures you wanted. And deuces.